Welcome to the Enough Said podcast. We are in season 5, episode 7. We got a lot to talk about today. The Eagles just getting by the Browns, and of course, Adams getting a new team on the opposite side of the country. Dre, let's get it started.
Let's get it going.
All right, here we are, episode
Hey, what's up?
7. God, Mike, Dre, how you doing?
What's going on, y'all?
Doing good.
Doing good. It's really wild in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I'm glad there's nothing going on. It's been pretty quiet, right?
Sort of.
We got Jermaine, who's going to jump on in a second. He's trying to get some motive issues worked out, so we'll get him in here as soon as we can. Otherwise, let's get this party started as normal. I can't believe it's been almost 7 weeks already. We're in week 7 in the NFL, but we'll do our normal intros here. So this guy, he hopes that the 49ers will not free fall. Well, it won't happen now that he's got his man, Ricky Pearsall. So what up, Mike? What's going on?
What's up? I'm doing good. How's it going?
All right, he's going to make that big of a difference?
I hope so. I like to see what the kids got, man. I was kind of excited when San Francisco got him. Just kind of as a possession kind of receiver. Just one of those guys they say runs routes very well. So kind of sneaky, get open kind of guy. So like to see what he adds to the offense. Hopefully he's got a good, development with Purdy, and we'll see.
All right, sounds good. This next guy, as always, here he goes. I love this. When he falls down the steps, he calls for his mommy. But when the Eagles lose to the Giants, he'll be calling Sirianni.
That's a good one. You got that right. Man.
You still falling down the steps, or did it stabilize? What do you got going on?
Well, right now my foot is pretty good. I feel a little tingle in the foot.
All right.
I haven't fallen down the steps, but I'll probably fall down the steps. I'll fall down my basement steps and then fall back up if the Eagles lose to the Giants today.
I come in on this. Ray, did you fall down the steps?
No, I didn't fall down the steps, but I might if we lose to the Giants.
Yeah, Jermaine, that was my intro. I said if when he I said. When he falls down the steps, he calls his mommy. But if the Eagles lose today, he'll be calling Sirianni. That's what I was.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that's what I would say. That's what I was saying to him. They better not lose to the Giants today, man. That's all I can say. But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
All right. And last but not least, perfect timing. His Eagles, they get down in the first quarter real fast. Just maybe not as quick as his famous 15-second draft. What up, Jermaine? I've never 10-minute draft. 10-minute draft. I've never had a 10-minute fantasy.
That's a record,
draft.
man. I mean, yeah.
Jeez.
8:00 started at 8:00. It was none at 8:10. It's
absolutely.
crazy, man.
Yeah. How you figure, man? I normally
my team
now.
stinks.
I'm normally stuck with like a 3-minute draft. Now I got the best team.
Man.
Oh yeah.
I won one game.
You should start doing that from now on. You know
right?
I gotta say, Dre does have a team, man. Between Chase, AJ Brown, Mahomes, Jesus, he could go on, man. He's got a team.
Yeah, my team's garbage.
Well, it doesn't matter because everybody makes the playoffs. So if you win the last couple weeks,
yeah, that's right. You just made me felt. You know what? You just made me feel real better, right? Like, oh wow, my team is good, but
anything can happen.
Right?
Playoffs? Was that the playoffs?
Right.
So, come on.
Oh my god, that's
man.
Good point.
Yeah. What's good, Hef? What's
What up?
happening?
What's going on, Hef?
What's up, Hef?
All right, let's get into it, guys. What do we have to? All right, the Eagles. We got a team who just barely beat the worst team in the league. You got a coach who's fighting with the fans. You got a GM who can't seem to, like, I think Mike said it perfect. He does everything right on paper, but it can't seem to play out. Jermaine, they still can't score a point in the first quarter. What is going on with this team?
I don't know. Hey, it seemed like they just want to set records the wrong way. I mean, no points in the first quarter. I mean, what's next? What's next? So, how can I put this? I'm not overly concerned, but I'm getting to a point that I am a little concerned. I mean,
Am I talking to KD here? Come on.
nah. I mean, you gotta understand, man. I mean, coordinators. I mean, everybody's trying to gel all at the same time. Now, I am going to say basically, Sirianni's got to go because I feel as though he's just being a cancer. You know what I mean? Amongst letting the coordinators do what they have to do and stuff. So, but I'm not, like I said. I mean, yeah, you're still week 6. You're 3-2. You're in the hunt, but like I was telling Dre last night. I am, I had to reset my expectations. I mean, it's not a Super Bowl run. This is not a Super Bowl team. Okay.
No.
All right. I look at them 11-6 and, getting into the playoffs, maybe get out of the first round, maybe not. You just don't know.
Sidney Brown's going to save the day.
Round. Huh?
Sidney Brown's going to save the day. Sorry.
Sidney Brown. Yeah. Yeah, what did you say, Seth?
The guy from Iowa, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's still a lot of pieces that need to be put in place and all that stuff. But you guys want Sirianni going. He's not going anywhere this year. He's not. I mean, what are you going to do? You get through this year, and he's probably going. If they make the playoffs, get out of the first round, I think he's still going. So. They're just riding, they're just riding the coattail, and that's basically it. I mean, like I said, when you have different coordinators, every year and that's the sick thing. I mean, when you got good coordinators, I mean, everybody's going to go after those guys. They be head coaches and stuff, So, that's the way I say it. I'm concerned, but I'm not overly concerned yet. I'm not going to sit up there and hit the panic button yet. I'm not. I mean, and if I do hit the panic button, well, so be it. I mean, they're not going anywhere this year. They'll make the playoffs and that's it. They're a playoff team. That's it. First round, that's it. So, bottom line.
Yeah. Dre, I know you got some stuff. What do you think, man? I know you got some stuff to share with us here. Here we go.
Well, we're just going to recap just a snippet of this fool. Okay, I'm going to call him a fool. And I got this picture of him. First, I want to talk about like what Jermaine said, but actually the players, from what I'm understanding, the players love him. Okay. That's what we're hearing through the grapevine. But at the same time, though, you got your analysts out there and stuff like that. Even what I saw, it's like, is he really calling the plays? He's not supposed to, it's supposed to be Kellen Moore. But to my understanding, it seemed like Kellen Moore is not. It's not even his offense out there that we saw last week or the week before. So, just looking at this guy, and I just don't see him as a head coach. And I don't care, this gets out and everything. That's how I feel. I don't see him as a head coach. And I think also he just wants to control all the time. So, just a little snippet of him giving his reason why he said it against the fans,
Taking time today.
Thank you.
We'll start with Elliot and then Ruben.
Hey, Nick, I was curious. In the offseason, Jeffrey Lurie said he liked that you showed passion as a head coach. He didn't want you to lose that. But considering the kind of extreme negative reaction to yesterday, have you heard from Jeffrey Lurie at all about what happened yesterday and what was his feedback?
No, Mr. Lurie and I talk every time after the game, every time. I haven't talked to him yet today. I know how supportive Mr. Lurie has been through everything. I would say this about that. What I was really doing, I was trying to bring energy yesterday, enthusiasm yesterday. And I'm sorry and disappointed on how my energy was directed at the end of the game. And, my energy should be all in on coaching, motivating, right, and celebrating with our guys. And so, that's, and I got to have better wisdom and discernment of when to use that energy, and that wasn't the time. And so
that right there tells me, okay, he's trying to be a cheerleader, I'm assuming, right? But at the same time, he's taking the criticism from a football player. First of all, you're a professional. I mean, I'm sorry, not football, from a fan, and you're a head coach. You need to block that all out the way. Who cares? The guy kept saying, well, we heard rumors that you need to run Saquon, need to do this and do that. And he gets livid by it and turns around and acts like a fool. So he's talking about right there, well, I'm supposed to bring energy. I'm supposed to be motivator. I'm supposed to be coaching, this and that. And to me, man, you really messed up. And I just don't like Jermaine. Yeah, he's not going anywhere this year, but the team has to really implode like they did last year, lost 6 straight. And then if they go in that play the Giants today and then they lose the Giants and losing like another 3-4 more, he's out, to me. And then if he does have a mediocre season, that's why I have it up there where he just gets us in the playoffs. Okay, he stays, and then we'll see next year what he does. But honestly, man, I say he's got to go.
He's not. Yeah, he's not staying. Even if he gets into the playoffs, he's not staying because enough is enough. I mean, just like I told you last night, I said Nick's not going anywhere this year because this is a simple fact. It's amazing because I'm almost kind of shocked that the players love him. And Jason Kelsey stood by it when he was on the radio with WIP. He stood by it. He's like, we love him. And it's almost to the point that Hugh Douglas almost had to say, he's like, well, damn. I mean, the way you're talking about him, you love him more than Andy Reid? And that's the crazy thing, is that all the players love him. And the players is the one like Brandon Graham and everybody is like, be yourself. And that's what happened. And that's basically what happened. I mean, he acted a fool, and it was inappropriate and all that stuff. I mean, he just took it. When they say act yourself, you know what I mean? I don't think, like you said, Dre, to go out there and start chirping with the fans and start arguing with the fans and all that stuff. No, I mean, we seen him be energetic on the sidelines and all that stuff. There was just no need for it. It was no need at all. I feel as though it's unprofessional. You don't see no other coaches out there doing that crap. You know what I mean? So, but the bottom line is the players love him. So he's not going anywhere this year. He's not. That it's just crazy what I heard, but this is not the first time I heard it that the players love him.
Let's get Mike in here. Mike, his contract's up after this year, Sirianni. They got to make a decision one way or another on him.
Yeah, I think they probably will move on from him, especially if the season kind of continues the way it's going. I mean, unless it gets drastically better, I think he'll be gone. And I think there's going to be some other coaches out there that are going to be available that just have a stronger pedigree than Sirianni has. And I think the Eagles will probably start looking at some of those guys and saying, hey, Sirianni got us to a certain point, and I texted you guys about this. Like, look, there's some guys that can get you, to be on the right track, but they're just not going to get you any more than that. And I think Sirianni was the kind of guy that's like, okay, they did win a couple games. They got to the Super Bowl. Really should have won the Super Bowl, but they didn't. But then I think that was like the limit of, all right, you're not going to get much better than that with Sirianni. And if you want to have consistent, strong teams and consistent playing, consistent development at certain positions, especially like with Jalen Hurts' development, you're probably going to need another coach. I mean, I've seen it in San Francisco when we have Mike Singletary, who I thought was a great coach, great motivator, got everybody in line, turned Vernon Davis around the whole 9 yards, but you saw his limitations as a head coach, as an organizer, as a guy that could get you to the hump. And Harbaugh comes in, and Harbaugh just has the right coordinators, just the right mojo to piece everything together, especially at the quarterback position. And the team gets to the Super Bowl, really should have won that Super Bowl too. But you can just see the difference. And I think that's where Sirianni's at. I think that's where Sirianni's struggling, is that, he's still trying to prove something, because he was kind of an underdog guy that wasn't really supposed to be hired in the first place. And that motivation kind of with his personality worked out, and the players could buy into that because he's an underdog. But once you got to a point now where the expectations are like, all right, you got the Super Bowl now, you guys need to maintain this success. You got to be consistently good. And he's still in the whole motivating underdog stage. And it's like, we're past that. Now it's maintaining success. We're good. We need to stay good kind of thing. And I think he's struggling with that.
So who we talking here? We talking Bill Belichick and his 27-year-old girlfriend? Who we talking?
No.
I mean, Vrabel's still out there. Of course, you got some up and coming coordinators and stuff like that probably will get their shot. Ben Johnson might want to throw his hat at it again. With a team that's mostly complete. 'Cause I think that was the problem with him wanting to take the Washington job. I think he felt like, nah, this is not going to be a complete team. I'm not going to, I don't want to go to a losing situation, even though it turns out they're actually really good. But Eagles could be a team that a Ben Johnson offensive, quote unquote genius kind of guy could come in, turn Jared Goff around. I'm sure he could probably, get Hurts back on track and then, go from there. So there's going to be some guys out there.
Well, I know a guy in Jacksonville who's available. Or might be available.
You want Doug
You know
back?
You probably don't want him.
You want Doug back?
You know what, guys? This is a fact too, as well. You're not going to believe this because I blew Dre's mind last night. Is that Kellen Moore offense when he was in Dallas? Okay, Dak was under center 40% of the time. Okay, so Nick has his hand in this offense. He does, because I don't see anything different besides, okay, you got a little man in motion and he goes around. That's just like freaking Madden. You know what I mean? I mean, they don't even go back and forth or whatever. But 40% of the time when he had Keller, 40% of the time he's under center. Guess what Jalen Hurts is right now? 8%. 8%.
That's going to go up. They're trying this week.
They are trying. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they're just so predictable with their offense. He's like, oh, man in motion. Okay, so yeah, drop back. I mean, Jalen gets the ball, boom. He looks at his first read, and it ain't there. He'll probably take off to the what? What's his strong side? To the right?
To the right.
Yeah.
Or then maybe he fumbles, or maybe he gets. It's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. When I heard that stat, I was like, "What?"
I don't know if that's Sirianni or is that Kellen Moore or is that because of Jalen and that under center.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
he can't read, or when you're sitting back in shotgun, you can see a lot more and you can kind of read.
I was about to say that,
but
then you're also,
but he can't
a little more predictable.
What is he reading, Mike? He's reading his first progressive. If it ain't there, now it's panic mode. You know what I mean? So he can't read.
Yeah,
it's more I guess he can't read.
I guess maybe it's the pre-snap stuff. The pre-snap before you snap the ball, you can see a lot more than when you're under center. But but you have a lot more flexibility when you're under center, especially with the play action stuff.
Play action screens, yeah. You know what I mean? So when did we saw a screen? When was the last time you saw a screen, Mike?
Yeah,
when was the last time you saw a play action? Not a RPO, a play action.
Right. Yeah.
There's got to be more to it than sending Antonio down the sideline throwing a go route up in the air and hoping he catches it. I mean, come on. AJ Brown.
Devontae and AJ, they're bailing him out on some occasions because that one AJ throw that was underthrown. I mean, and AJ bailed him out. So it's like,
and to me, man, you since Nick, we went through 3 coordinators. I mentioned this before. Talking about defensive, offensively wise, and you're looking at how Saquon Barkley's really carries have gone down, diminished ever since week 2, and to me, man, that's all part of Nick. He doesn't like to run the ball. And when we first coached, he was calling the plays. He barely ran the ball when we had
the guy on your fantasy team, Swift.
No, before Swift. Miles Sanders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders. So he's still calling the shots here, man. And it needs to stop. And I just don't think, like you said, Jeffrey Lurie's not going to fire him.
He's a puppet. That's why. And it's not all on Nick because Nick doesn't run the ball and all that stuff. Jeffrey Lurie and Howie, Jeffrey doesn't want to, he don't want to run. And Howie doesn't want to run. They just want to feel as though they just want to run up the score and everything. And, it's through passing, but they don't know how to adjust. That's what it is. They just don't know how to adjust.
Well, I'm not letting Howie off the hook. You guys know that because this has been going on for a while with Howie now. And
ever since Andy Reid.
The talent is not there. Howie needs to go back to what he was. And there's no thing.
I agree.
there's no consequence about it, or whatever the word is, that when Joe Douglas was there and they won the Super Bowl, Howie was not in control of the team. So, and they won a Super Bowl. So you call lightning in a bottle, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, the 2 years that Howie wasn't the GM and Joe Douglas came in, they won a Super Bowl. So, and now here we are again. Their linebackers still are terrible. They don't have the depth. The drafting, they have had one Pro Bowler out of 37 guys drafted on defense. One. I mean, come on, Howie. Like, I could pick better than that. You know what I mean? Like, I could get more Pro Bowlers than that.
I agree.
You
Sal.
give
They need
Saquon
to go
$34
back.
million. You give
Yeah.
Saquon $34 million. What linebacker you think you're going to get?
You need to go back to the. You need to go back to where Andy Reid was in charge of personnel. You know what I'm saying? And Howie, like you said, Sal, Howie was in charge of finances. You know what I mean? So whatever the next coach that's going to come in here, once you get rid of punk ass Nick, once you get rid of him and whatnot, and bring somebody in here, because Mike called it at one time. You need somebody in there that's young, strong, that's going to control the locker room, that's going to have the respect. You know what I mean? And and let them control the personnel, because they're the ones that's on the damn field, not you, Howie. You know what I mean? You evaluating all this stuff and whatnot. It's just, come on. I can't. I can't. So something has to change definitely in this offseason. So
Yeah, a lot of changes. All right, let's move on here. Speaking of change, well, big change this week, and yeah, Hef, you're right. He's talking about the fantasy draft rounds too. More change this week. Davante Adams, finally, this is done. We can stop hearing about this talk now. Vegas. I love it for my fantasy team, because obviously my tight end, he's going to be great. Bowers is going to tear it up now, but it's also not good because I have a wide receiver on the Jets as well, who now is going to maybe lose some targets, Wilson. So Aaron gets his boy. Here we go. Reddick signs. Now all of a sudden this team wants to play. Their defense has been a big disappointment. I really thought the Jets defense would be better, but they got an offense now, guys. Is Adams going to save the day? He's 32 years old. I don't know, Andre. I know you got a lot to say on this one.
Yeah, really, I got less, because I don't think they're going to do anything different. Honestly, I don't. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is old. Okay. He showed me that he can barely stand up when he gets hit. I don't know how many, once he gets like a couple more hits on him. Right. And you know how Aaron Rodgers was when, I was telling Mike, Mike was telling me that that Aaron Rodgers got solid fired, and this is going to be his show, his team, which it seems like it is. And then we'll see if Davante Adams is going to actually make him look back the way Aaron Rodgers used to look. I just don't really see anything different than what he's done right now. Honestly, I don't know what you guys think.
I thought you said you had less to say about it.
Yeah.
A lot, right?
Sorry, was that 15 seconds more? Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's good info, but it's a lot.
Have chiming in on a couple of things here. Seeing Nick argue with the fans was cringe. Yes, it was.
We're talking about Davante here, so
Devontae
will free up Wilson for a little bit.
Yeah. Look, you can't argue that Davante Adams will, it definitely will help. It won't hurt. I mean, he's a talent. Of course, I wanted him last year in place of Deebo just because I thought he was a better overall receiver. Yeah. But look, the Jets are still fundamentally broken in the key positions, and that's like your offensive line. Aaron Rodgers is still getting hit, even if he's not getting sacked. He's getting hit hard, and that problem's still not going to correct itself. At least I don't think it will, unless these guys all of a sudden start playing better just because Adams there. But I don't think Adams is, the offensive line, wish maker.
Right.
They still got problems, and
that's what I'm saying.
They're going to play Pittsburgh, which I'm just hoping Pittsburgh blitzes the hell out of them and just like hits Rodgers, 5, 6, 7 times. Just make him. If he was slow to get up in the last game, against Buffalo, he got hit. So
exactly. Yeah.
I think it'll help. It could look a little better, but under the hood, it's still not right. And it's just crazy to see how much the Jets have bent over backwards for Aaron Rodgers. Like, I look at it and say to myself, dude, you're not Tom Brady, And Tom Brady has 6 Super Bowls. He had so much behind him when he went to Tampa Bay that he could name his price. He could say, yeah, go get Gronk, go get Antonio Brown, go get this guy, go get that guy. I know what it takes to win. Aaron Rodgers has 2 MVPs, but he don't have a lot of Super Bowls behind him. He doesn't have that same Tom Brady pedigree to come in and say, all right, give me my offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett. Let's get Devontae Adams. Let's bring in Randall Cobb. Let's bring in a couple other guys I used to play with, and it's just going to all work. And, I'll get you guys a championship. I don't see that, man. And the Jets seem like they still bought into this whole, let's give Aaron whatever he wants and we'll be okay. And I just think it's going to blow up.
Watch this segue. This is good. Jermaine, Justin Fields is back returning punts, by the way, and your 3 draft picks, Wilson, who's going to be playing today for Pittsburgh. Speaking of the Jets, how'd you guys like that one? So, what do you think of Pittsburgh, Blitzburg? They're going to get to him today. What's going to happen?
I mean, look, the bottom line is, Mike and Dre said it. Devontae Adams is not a savior, and he's going to save the land, and he's going to rejuvenate Aaron Rodgers. You're looking at the age. You know what I mean? I think, what's the average wide receiver? What this man Devontae is 31, 32?
32, yeah.
32.
I just, ever since he left Green Bay, he had one good season with the Raiders or whatever. I think he's bringing it, I think his talent is going down some. And Hef is right. It may free up Garrett Wilson. So, Devontae may be a decoy, but I see Aaron Rodgers, since he loves Devontae so much, trying to force the ball to Devontae. It's a freaking mess. It's a mess. I don't know which one you want to, which team you like. Is the Eagles or the Jets? What's worse? So
time up, Jermaine.
That's just my thing. Devontae Adams is not a savior. He's not.
That's what I was saying in the beginning. I don't see any difference happening. And just like, KD just said, man, the O-line is trash.
Yeah. And I'm not sure Sean Reddick is necessarily a savior. I know they've had problems with rushing the quarterback and getting pressure, but he hasn't played. He hasn't practiced. He's done jack. And now he's going to show him.
Now you're going to show up in week 7.
Right.
He's probably going to get hurt.
I'll play.
Because you know why? He's losing money. And that's what agent told him. Like, look, man, you got to get out there, man. You're losing millions and millions of dollars. So just get out there and just, fake it till you make it. That's all.
Right, yeah. Get hurt, go on IR.
Yeah. That happened today. It was a conspiracy. Oh, that's hilarious. I would laugh. Oh, my goodness.
He's going to have cramps. He's going to be needing IVs, fluids.
It was
man. Claire.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of moves, the Bills also picked up a wide receiver. Yeah.
I think that was smart. I 100% on board with that move. I think that will pay dividends. Yes.
100, Mike. 100%.
And you can believe Josh Allen has not thrown a pick yet. That's amazing. He fumbled the ball, but he never threw a pick. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Yeah, no, he's been playing pretty good. Buffalo has actually been, I guess, somewhat of a surprise. They really would struggle without any receivers, and they have. That's why they had to make that trade for Cooper. But Shakir has filled in pretty good, and they committed to running the ball. Right. Saying it for years, right? All you gotta do is just believe in the run, and then everything starts working out. Dude stops throwing picks, because they can settle down. He doesn't have to run with his hair on fire trying to make big time plays. They settle down.
A lot of good stuff in the chat here. So the price for Miles was too high. I know the Eagles were trying to talk and get that. Yeah, and then Rosenhaus talked some sense into him, man. Next thing you know, Adams is doing sit-ups and push-ups.
Right.
Here we go again.
Yeah, I would say with Adams though, doing that receiver show on Netflix, this did wonders for him, man. Because everyone got to see how miserable he was in Vegas. Was like, anytime you want to come out, just say so. You know, we'll get you. Yeah, he
Well-
was so sad.
And
Tom-
back.
Tom Brady's. Oh, sorry. Tom Brady's ready for Las Vegas, Dre.
Oh, I know he is. I know he is, man. But I was gonna say, you talking about how Devontae, Amari Cooper is happy he's out of Cleveland, and
Mhm.
you know he might be an old Amari Cooper back in the days when he was with Dallas Cowboys, and he was just lighting them up. Remember?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Those towels was getting wet in
Deshaun, I
Cleveland.
mean, Deshaun and Cleveland's just getting worse and worse and worse
Yeah.
and worse.
Yeah, of course,
They're
that's what makes
tanking.
that Eagles game look so much
God,
worse.
They're the
The
first
Browns
pick.
are.
They're the first pick for the
They're under-
2025 season.
They are so soaked
Yeah,
by
that's
those
right.
towels. It's not even funny, man. I mean, they're just drowning. They don't have enough
Wow.
towels anymore. They don't have enough towels
Wow.
to soak up all that water. They're just drowning.
And that's a good point what Hess said about Chase Young. He's like, I saw it.
That
Got him
ain't right.
tossed. Like,
Yeah,
get him tossed.
I
Yeah,
saw
you're
that.
right.
The problem with Chase Young is his effort. Just he don't play. He takes plays off, and when he does take plays off, is when stuff like that happens. I think I sent you guys a clip where the guy just pushed him, looked like he just barely pushed him, and Chase was like diving into the ground, like, oh my god, it just got tossed like 20 feet. It's like, dude, you gotta hustle every play.
Yeah. It's can't take plays off in the NFL. We
No,
know
you can't.
that. And
No.
so
But-
I mean, it's crazy.
But real quick with the Browns, I think the thing that's sad with the Browns is that they keep having to say Watson's still the guy. Like we'll have a terrible game, and the coach they'll say to him, "Is you going to change the quarterback?" And he has to sit up there and say, "No, Watson gives us the best chance to win." And you're just like, man, you know he don't want to say that. You know,
Because
someone
you
has to be.
justify $250 million on the bench. You know what I mean? You gotta say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it has to kill you to say that. Like if you're a player on that team, you have to be like, this man is like telling us like 2 + 2 is 5. I mean, you know, this is insane. This is lunacy.
2 +
but-
0.
I mean, you feel bad. I mean, the coach was 2-time coach of the year. Stefanski was twice head coach of the year. You're just like, I gotta go out and say Watson's my guy. I know it's killing him. It's got to be killing
Wow.
him.
Deep.
Yeah, they're tanking, and Cleveland might be in the Manning sweepstakes coming up, because he's going to be high. I don't think Sanders is going to go to. I don't think he's going to want to go to Cleveland. And Dion already came out. He's like, yeah, I know where I want my son to go. So it's going to be interesting.
Maybe Chubb would be the
Yeah.
savior. Isn't he starting today? He's playing
Yeah,
today.
he is back. Yeah,
he's
it'll
back.
help. It will help. It should help
Yeah.
if he's back to his normal self. I mean,
Yeah.
anytime you
know
can take
how-
the ball
I
out
don't
of
know how he's
Watson's
gonna be
hands,
back.
right?
I don't know how he's gonna be back to himself. I mean, Jesus, this is the second time he done blew his knee up or something like that.
Yeah, that's one was like
Yeah,
every
that
every
one was
CL
cool.
every CL possible was busted, right? ACL, MCL,
Oh, no, yeah.
PCL,
Yeah, I
every
would love to
CL
see
was
it,
man.
broken.
Every part of the knee has been
Yeah,
destroyed.
it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I picked him up. I mean, we'll see. Like I had him
Yeah.
on my injured reserve. I figured why not, but
Yeah, start him.
yeah.
Didn't
So,
Ford
yeah.
get hurt last week?
Who?
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
think
think
he
he
did.
did. Yeah,
For Cleveland.
Mm,
The running back.
Oh,
Okay.
Ford got hurt.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
move on with Cleveland. Let's
I
move
think
on.
he's
Yeah.
gonna-
So, yeah. We'll go to the games.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do,
let's-
guys. It's just
yeah, let's
no
go into
more
the games,
Cleveland
yeah.
Browns talk.
All right. Dion won't. Dion won't let him. Yeah, he's not going to let him go to Cleveland. Watson can come. He can come back up Hurts. No, it's okay.
What? We used
don't-
Pickett as a trade bait.
Yeah.
Even Wilson couldn't pick it. No.
Yeah. All right, games today. There's a lot of good ones, guys. Top 5 here. Let's talk about Houston, Green Bay first. Houston at Green Bay this week. Interesting game. A lot on the line for these guys. Mike, who you got?
It's a tough one, man. I think I'm going to go with Green Bay. I think just being at home. Aaron, what's his name? Jordan Love is actually playing pretty good ball, man. I wasn't sure how he was going to look this year, but I'm getting convinced. I think he's got a good thing going up there. Houston still puzzles me a little bit. You know, they don't seem right. You know, I think the expectation this year that they would be a little more offensive firepower, and I know they got injuries, But yeah, I think Green Bay is going to beat them. Not going to destroy them, but I think Green Bay's got it.
Yeah, Dre, who you got?
Ah, man, it's like Mike said. Now, I like Houston. I like Houston a lot. Whew. CJ Stroud's got to bring it like he did last year when his rookie year. He just got to go out and ball. I think this is going to be a barn burner. Jordan Love, I actually have him starting over Patrick Mahomes, who I have on my fantasy team. And Patrick hasn't been really Patrick himself, and Jordan Love is really. So I'm man, this is tough. I'm gonna go with Houston, but it's gonna be close. I really think it's gonna be close, and I think Green Bay and Houston might be the highest scoring game this Sunday.
All right, Eagles. Who you got? That's you, Jermaine. He's got Eagles on the screen. I just noticed that.
Oh, yeah. I got Houston. Since I talk too much, Dre told me.
Oh,
you read my mind. I'm about to say you got 30 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. I want him interrupting me again. Time.
We got cut off his mic.
Yeah, KD, you right, man. I benched him this time. I benched him.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Jalen Hurts and all that stuff. Mahomes is struggling big time this year. I mean, he's still leading. He's up there with Hurts as far as with interceptions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he's got
six interceptions. He's tied. He's tied with him.
Juju Schuster will save the day. Don't worry.
Juju.
This is a tough one. I've gone back and forth on this one because if Nico Collins was in there, he's sitting on my IR right now, I would say definitely Houston. But I do think Green Bay. I think Houston's defense, they're not going to have an answer for Reed. Houston's defense really struggles against pass coverage, and I think they're going to move Reed around a lot today, Jaden Reed. So I do expect that the Packers will win this. I think it's going to be close. But if the Packers can slow down, I mean, the running attack with Nixon is tough and you still have Stephon Diggs out there for Houston. So it's not like you got nobody, but Collins was the best receiver in the league before he got hurt. And that's going to be tough. So I just think Green Bay, it's too much. I like the way Love is playing. I agree. And on a quick side note, before Dre gives me the buzzer, you'll be proud to know that I am starting Daniels this week over Stroud just because he's playing Carolina. I did start him last week and he did well too. So we'll see what happens.
That's a no-brainer, Sal.
I mean, Carolina, come on. I mean, Carolina, give me a break. All right. This is probably one of the best games I think this week. Detroit at Minnesota, guys. This is really going to determine that Central. So, Mike, who you got?
I'm taking Detroit.
Okay.
Man, something about David Montgomery. That man is just like he's on fire right now. And he's just bullying over people. I think Sam Darnold, who I had as my comeback player, I think Bad Sam's going to show up, and I think that's going to hurt the Vikings a little bit. I mean, defensively, I think they're okay, but I just think Detroit's starting to pick up some steam, and that running game is leading the way, and they're just going to win.
Yeah, I played against in fantasy that Detroit running game last week, and they smoked. So it's they were pretty damn good last week. Dre, this is for the division, man. It's
a divisional game. It's at Detroit. No, it's at Minnesota.
It's at Minnesota. Detroit at Minnesota.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna take Detroit.
All right.
Aaron Jones is banged up. So, but they said he expected to play. Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson's got to have a big game to beat Detroit. That's the bottom line.
All right, Jermaine, you got your 15 seconds. Kill it.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson and Brown, boy, they went the heck off last year when they went toe to toe. So, it could be a high scoring game, but I got Detroit. Detroit's following on cylinders, and we still don't know who Minnesota is. You know what I mean? You throw Sam the damn Arnold in there, and they're doing pretty good. But this is their big match, and I think they're going to come up short today. Detroit.
Yeah, I do agree. What's the name? Aiden Hutchinson missing is going to hurt Detroit.
Yeah, that's true.
Offensively, they still got it.
Pass rusher.
I know it's a side note, but man, did you see what they were doing to the Cowboys last week? Where they have offensive linemen running routes? That is just a total
Mhm.
slap in the face. Like that's just totally wrong, man.
I got a
I
story.
loved every minute of it.
I got a
I was waiting for Dallas to put Zeke at center again, the way things were going, man.
Hike!
Oh.
Man.
Yeah.
Who you got, Sal?
I'm not seeing ghosts this week, guys. I think it's going to be Detroit, although I am worried about Hutchinson being out. But Minnesota does have two good receivers. Don't forget Addison is back. It's been a while, but he is back, and he touches the ball almost 10 times
true.
a
I
game.
didn't think about that.
So
I
he
forgot.
is back. So it's going to be close.
What was he, injured or suspended? What was going on? He's injured?
Yeah,
Oh, was
he was
he?
injured.
Okay.
Was he
Yeah.
hurt or
Okay.
was he injured? No, he was- but yeah, I think I got Detroit, but I think it's going to be a close one on this one. And yeah, they are playing hard for Hutch. Yeah, that's true. We got Baltimore at Tampa Bay, guys. So this is a big one. So yeah, this is look. This is a tough one just because I don't really know who Tampa Bay is. So McStuffins, talk to me.
The doc is in. No, I, you know what? I had a feeling Tampa Bay might win this game, and it's only because the Ravens have this knack for just blowing it. Like the Ravens should win hands down. Just because they got Henry and everything that they do, but. Dang it, you could just see the Ravens being up by 7 points going in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden Mike Evans just like blows by, one of their corners, and then the Ravens lose, and the Ravens fans are just going nuts saying we've seen this show before. I think Tampa Bay is going to somehow win this game. I'm going to take them.
Wow. Dre, you on board?
Tampa Bay will win if daggone Lamar keeps overturning the ball. He overturns the ball at the wrong times too, and also they're on the road. And I know Harbaugh. I remember the last two games they were on the road. Harbaugh was not happy. Like he wants to see his team produce well, like they do at home on the road. And if Lamar doesn't fumble the ball or throw picks, they will win. But if not, I got Tampa Bay winning.
All right, Jermaine, we got a lot of going back and forth here. They beat a Saints team, handicapped Eagles. They aren't for real, not even close. Ravens all day. I don't know, man.
Tampa Bay. No, I mean, I'm not rooting for Tampa Bay. I still feel as though Tampa Bay is still a fraud, And then, do you understand that Lamar is in the running for the MVP? So he's up there in that MVP running and whatnot. So, and then you got Derrick Henry. So you control the clock because they understand that freaking what's his name for the coach for Tampa Bay loves the blitz.
Bowles?
Control the ball.
Todd Bowles.
Yeah, Todd Bowles. Control the ball with Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Keep the ball if you want to. Keep the ball, Lamar. Just run the ball. Run the ball all day. You know what I'm saying? And let Bowles adjust and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not really so. I'm not so. I'm not so on Tampa Bay.
Yeah, McStuffins smoking that anesthesia over there.
Yeah, like I said, I should pick the Ravens. I just have this funny feeling about Tampa Bay. I think
you never know.
I don't think they're Super Bowl champions, but I do think they got a formula down there with Baker Mayfield. I think he's just has a good feel for that team. That he can lead them a little bit, and I think they needed that.
They don't have a running, so you shut down Baker. What do you got? What else you got?
Well, they got they got the running back that came on last week.
White?
No, the other kid.
The other one?
I can't think of his name, but there was the guy that was kind of I have to get his name, but he did all right.
He's a rookie, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay. Okay.
They'll fight. I'm telling you, the Ravens are a tough team, but Washington went up and down on them, and I think that
there you go,
Tampa Bay can do the exact same thing. And but Ravens defense is not as strong as we think. Their offense is good.
No, it's not.
Yeah. The Ravens defense ain't the same as it used to be. I think Tampa can make it interesting.
I agree. I'm gonna keep smoking that gas.
Yeah.
Like, don't trust that feeling. All right.
Whatever
Um,
feeling this is, Mike, don't trust it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Listen, don't take betting advice from me. You know, don't put money on this. My feeling.
I know, yeah, right?
Yeah.
I like it's like red flag,
red
flag,
Yeah.
red flag.
I think
you
this
got
is
money
what
on this. Take the Ravens.
Baltimore needed Derrick Henry, and Derrick
They
Henry
did,
will
yeah.
show you something. You know what I mean? To where
Oh yeah.
he still has something left in the tank. Bottom line, you know.
Oh yeah.
bottom line.
We knew he did. We knew that. I had a good feeling about that.
Yep.
I think you guys nailed it on the head. I think this game is going to come down to, can Tampa Bay's defense slow down Henry and Jackson? If they can, Mike might be right. This game could get very interesting quick. If not, forget about it. It's going to be,
it'll be a long day.
It'll be
Like
a
that
long
Dallas
day.
game.
So I do think in the end the Ravens pull it out, but I would not be surprised if Tampa Bay made it.
I would be.
interesting.
I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked.
All
Where's
right.
it playing at anyway? Is it in Tampa Bay?
It's in
Yes,
Tampa.
it's at
Oh,
Tampa.
it's in
So
Tampa.
who knows? Bobby could be shooting off the cannons again for all we know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh,
It could be hot. It could be humid down there. You know, that's
Yeah.
the stadium that it's hard to play in when it gets hot and humid. You feel like
Yep.
110 degrees on the field.
Yeah. They got hurricanes coming through there, all types of stuff. So who knows,
Yeah.
man?
Ooh, blowout.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Kansas City at San Fran in the rematch of the Super Bowl, Mike.
hmm So you see my thing says beat them by 100, and that's because of what Trent Williams said. He said, look, we could beat them by 100 points and still ain't going to make up for losing the Super Bowl. And he's right, but it still doesn't feel good. So look, I think San Francisco is going to win. I just got a feeling that they're going to, they're going to win. I think it's going to be a good win, a win they need. And I got San Francisco.
All right, Dre.
I got San Francisco too.
Mm.
I'm with Fred Warner, the middle linebacker. I mean, he's the glue that D right there to me. And then I want to see more from Nick. I want to see more from Bosa. Bosa just been quiet, man. He's got to really push it up in there. And if
money.
oh
Yeah, I agree with that.
well, he's counting money or he's wearing that money belt, but McCombs is struggling. Patrick's struggling. So you got to go after when the blood is in the water, in my opinion. So I'm gonna take San Fran.
49ers on life support, KD.
Yeah, they don't like support.
Jermaine, 3-3.
Or car
First place in the
crash.
divi-
and the fire truck got
place in the
used all the
division. I
life.
don't know how life support. I mean, they're first place in that division. I mean, all I gotta do is win it. It might not be Super Bowl, but should be able to win the division.
All right, Jermaine, what do you got?
Bottom line is, what is Andy Reid's record after a bye week? Enough said. What is his record after the bye week? You got 2 weeks to prepare. He knows what he's doing. Andy Reid's a smart guy. That's all I got to say. That's all I have to say. What is his record? His record speaks for himself. I got KC.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I just I'm similar. I'm gonna say one thing. Ricky Parcel. Enough said. 49ers win. No, I think it's it's going to be close, but I do think San Francisco will have enough for him in the long run. And I do think San Francisco will wind up pulling this out unless Brock is on the turf and gets hurt. So whether McCaffrey comes back from his legs being broken or whatever, it don't matter. I think San Francisco still will probably pull this one out until Mahomes shows me otherwise that he can get back into form. I don't care about Juju Schuster or any of these guys. So
Andy Reid's record after the bye week.
Taylor Swift, Kelsey, whatever you want to say, So Kelsey, where is Kelsey? Like, what is going on with Kelsey, guys? Like,
Kelsey's
on Broadway.
He's still in the bed. That's what he's doing. Yeah.
He's on Broadway, man.
He has to put something on him.
He's having fun acting.
Being
and stuff,
honest.
so
yeah,
cleaned all shaved. He's got it all clean shaved up. He's on Broadway.
This might be Travis's last year. I mean, if him and Taylor are still going strong, this is his last year. I think.
I think it is. I mean, he's been setting up stuff, you know,
Exactly.
or
Yep,
after
exactly.
football. I got the TV
Yeah.
shows and
Yeah.
whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this
Mhm.
is
This is last year,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep.
yeah. I think going through training camp this year, I think kind of took a toll on him. Like he was like, you know what, I want to get the third one, but this is also
Yep.
getting old, you know.
Yep. You
And
know.
probably talking to his brother probably didn't help either. His brother probably him retiring too probably was just like, yeah, dude, it's time to hang it up.
I mean, you got that podcast alone. You know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
All right. It's sad that we even got to predict this one, guys, but here we go. Eagles at Giants. Mike.
I picked the Giants just because KD said
What?
my team's on life support. But
Wow.
Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it, Mike. Stay with it.
KD heard that.
no. This game is in New York or is in Philly?
It's in New York.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you guys the benefit of doubt. I'm going to go with the Eagles, but I am very, very, very shaky about this because that Giants defense in particular has been very aggressive this year, and I think they're going to make Hurts really have to earn it. But
Mhm.
I'll take the Eagles.
All right, Trey.
I'm taking the Eagles. Reason being because in the last, I remember when we had Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift, and now Saquon Barkley, we always run it down Giants' throat. And
Mhm.
Saquon has got a revenge game, so he wants to show that he can put up the 130 yards and 2 TDs probably. And Hurts needs to really just keep nailing it to Smith and to AJ Brown. So Eagles all the way, man.
All right. Jermaine.
Yeah, I was going back and forth all week. You know what I mean? I was going back and forth, but I think the Eagles going to have to, you know, this is Saquon's coming out party, and he's going to prove to the Giants that y'all jack that up as far as not keeping me. So, yeah, I think, you know, Saquon's going to get like at least 25 carries. You know, it's going to be the Saquon Barkley day today. So, yeah, Eagles.
The only way Giants can win is if Danny Dimes finds Neighbors, and they very well could.
Yeah.
Although Quinyon Michael is playing lights out. He's like 5th in the league in pass break. I mean, he's playing lights
That's
out.
Howie's boy. That's Howie's
That's
boy. son.
Howie's boy. So, all right, we got a quick game, but we're gonna have to keep it super quick. Or Mike, do we want to hold it for next week since we're short on time here?
No, we can do it. I mean, Jermaine,
Okay.
you said you got to roll, right? So I'll
Yeah,
ask you the
yeah,
questions
go ahead.
first. So, you know,
Yeah.
we talked about, you know, Jermaine, you've always said, look, let's see where we are, you know, when we're a couple games into the season, about quarter way, once the quote unquote preseason is over. So, there's 3 quick questions for you. So first off, what team, you know, is going exactly the way you thought they were? Like, what's going according to plan, good or bad? What team do you feel is right where you thought they'd be?
And you know, I probably, you know, you kept pounding us on text, you know what I mean, to do your homework. So I'm probably gonna get an F on on this incomplete. Who were they supposed to be? Yeah, well, I guess the obvious, you know what I mean? The Cowboys.
Wow.
Yeah.
What it's supposed to be. I mean, you look at the offseason, you know what I mean? You look at they ain't do nothing in the offseason. And then Jerry was like, basically, yeah, you know, we're all in. We're all in since they got blown out of the playoffs last year. And look where they're at. I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist to see what the heck is going on down there. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do nothing in the offseason. You could have had Derrick Henry. You could have had a couple other couple other free agents, and you didn't do nothing. You brought, like Dre would say, you brought Ezekiel back. It's like, wow, okay, that's just bad right there.
Oh
You
my
know?
goodness.
So
Yeah.
that's where I see it.
All right.
Panthers,
And
Patriots.
it's the obvious. I'm sorry, it's the
Right.
obvious.
Yeah.
But it is
Okay.
it is good though. So,
All right. Well, the next question for your homework was what team surprised you?
What
What
team
team didn't do-
surprised
yeah,
me?
yeah,
What team
so far.
surprised me? Washington.
Good. Well,
Washington surprised. They surprised. I thought there was at least another year, maybe 2 years out. But this Daniels, he might, you know, coming out his rookie year. I mean, he's the real deal. And Snyder, I mean, yeah, Quinn's got this team. Quinn's got this team going in the right direction. You know, got the parts and all that stuff. You know, I thought Dre was smoking that gas again. You know what I mean? When he called it, he's like, Washington's
Nah,
going
Washington, I
to
called it.
Yeah.
out, man. But hats off to Dre. Yeah, Washington. Yeah, Washington and They got a good nucleus, young team, and everything. Yeah, I'm Washington.
Daniels was
Yeah.
better than Caleb in the college games, and
Yeah.
Caleb got the number 1 pick. But back to really, I say Chicago Bears are the ones that I'm like, whoa, okay, they're looking pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
After Justin Fields left, and then how disarray they was, and then Caleb Williams comes in, and Chicago, and now it's like it's slowly he's coming in. And they played well last week. I was listening to them on the road, and I was coming back from Atlanta. And I say Chicago Bears.
I say Minnesota. Who the hell would ever thought Minnesota would be?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Minnesota threw me not a curveball, but a boomerang. It hit me in my head because I couldn't believe it. I'm like, Samuel Donald. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, come on, Samuel Donald. I'm like,
threw you down the steps, Dre.
It did, man. And I did a roll that time. You're right, Sal.
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings,
Yeah, that's the best one, I believe. Vikings.
I think Washington was the big surprise for me so far.
Washington,
just seeing how I thought Daniels was going to be solid, but I just didn't think that it would come on this fast. So far, I think there's a surprise team for me. So Jermaine, I know you got to roll. So real quick, the last question was, what team are you most excited about going forward?
The most team that I'm excited about going forward,
and it could be good or bad. So it could be a team that you're like looking to see like totally like fall apart and implode and blow up, or a team that could go to the Super Bowl. Which team?
He's going to say the Eagles.
Looking forward to see.
He's going to say the Eagles.
You know what? Just like what they did last year, and we all counted them out, was KC. Let's see what they could do. They don't have no wide receivers. You know what I mean? I mean, they got Travis Kelce. Mahomes is struggling. This is what they did last year, and we all of us agreed. We wrote them off. And what did they do?
Yeah.
What did they do? They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you got to contribute that to the coaching. You know what I mean? And you still got Mahomes, and I think he'll figure it out. I wasn't a Mahomes fan at the beginning, but yeah, he'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm looking at KC. I want to see if KC could just actually go out and 3. If they do that, I'm just anointing them as far as the best team in the NFL in all-time history. I mean, come on, you got to think about it, man. That's just crazy. You come out 3, you're struggling with your receivers and all that stuff and whatnot. It's crazy, and your running back, your starting running back, it's out. So yeah, definitely KC.
We got Steelers fans here. They're saying, what about Pittsburgh? And I can't wait to see the Cowboys implode again. Here we go.
Got my 60 million. Here we go.
I'm calling the Eagles on this one, guys. I want to see how the Eagles handle adversity here. I want to see if Jalen can pull it together. And if Jalen doesn't pull it together this year, I think there's some questions. I'm not saying he's necessarily gone yet, but he better show some improvement. And, Howie, if this thing goes south, you got to start looking at Howie. I think it's going to be really interesting to see where these Eagles go.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Enough said on that. It's like, man, you could go on.
What do you think, Dre? What's your team?
Yeah, what's your team? What are you excited about, Dre?
I'm excited about
or disappointed or you
surprised.
It's either or.
Well, I guess all the questions real quick. What team did you think is that exactly where you thought they would be?
The Saints coming from last
Saints.
Yeah,
because even Alvin Kamara is like coming back to life, and Carr, I'm surprised, how that all's working out over there.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to say the Houston Texans because I'm a little disappointed because how they were last year, and I guess Jermaine is always right. That sophomore slump from CJ Stroud was a freshman, and now he's a sophomore. People got a lot of tape on him and seeing how he can handle coming down or adversity. I'm a little surprised that Houston is where they're not playing as good as I thought they were. Because like playoffs last year, right into it, and I thought they would be running the show, and they're actually fighting to make these wins. So
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I think the team, honestly, for me, that I think is exactly where I thought they would be is the Eagles, and I thought that was just because having 2 new coordinators and everything that happened last year, I just thought it was going to be tough to get going quickly. So like Jermaine, like you said earlier about expectations and having expectations set way too high for this team.
Yeah.
You have to calm down a little bit. It's not over, but I think this team, I thought this is where they would be, with some struggles, and they got to fight through it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Sal called it. Sal was like, how they going to, work this over? Because it's not immediate. It's not a middle part. It's either it's going to go up, or it's going to go down. And if it goes down, it's crashing down hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got 30 seconds about the Eagles. I said that when we switched the coordinators, when Shaken left and everybody else, I said this is going to be a serious turnover with bringing in Brian Johnson and the other guy, and of course, I don't know. We had what's the name? What's the guy we had?
Sean Desai,
Desai,
Patricia.
And I said, if these guys don't, the Philadelphia is in trouble, and they haven't shown any. Fangio is trying to figure out what he's working with, so there's nothing yet to say that the Eagles are going to be better and improved.
Yeah. The only other team I was going to say with that they're where I thought they'd be is the Packers. I mean, I really thought the Packers were going to be pretty good this year. So, and so far the Packers are going to be tough to beat. I mean, they played the Eagles hard the first week of the season, and I think the Packers have something here. So they almost beat San Fran. Let's not forget that in the playoffs last year. So. And that was with Greenlaw and everybody and CMC. Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting.
And Green Bay showed who they are, how they are a great contender because they gave a reality check to the Cowboys last year when they smoked them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that tells you right there that Green Bay is ready and Cowboys are not.
Yep.
Yeah. So what team are you guys excited about real quick going forward? I know Jermaine said, and Andre, you said, how about you?
Yeah.
Or was it the Eagles?
Me? It was the Eagles. Yeah. But because I just want to see, not that I'm excited about them, I just want to see where they go, And I know KD, it's not the sky is falling, so optimistic about Philly. I want to see where they go. I got to see what they have.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Some good ones.
All right. Well, with that being said, enough said. You can always check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, at the handles Enough Said Podcast. You also have enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com. You can reach out to us if you want there. And as always, we're on every Sunday at 11 a.m. And we appreciate everybody who always is consistent and watches our show, especially those clowns over at the, All Dressed Up Podcast.
ADU, shout out.
ADU.
They're on tonight. They're on tonight at 9. If you haven't caught them, they are a great show. So check them out, 9 o'clock, All Dressed Up Podcast. But we are the Enough Said Podcast. We're on every Sunday morning at 11. We're going to have a lot to talk about next week, of course, because the Eagles Giants and all these results will be in. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. Enjoy the games and have a great week.
Peace. Everybody, take it easy. Peace out.
Go Niners.